it off, obviously we have crazy fights like Pereira versus Hill, Holloway versus Gaethje, literally to the last second. Even other fights like Bobby Green and Jim Miller. So we're just going to start it off first.
I want to say one thing people didn't think this event would deliver. It absolutely delivered on every single metric that could possibly deliver.
No question about that.
My favorite fight of that evening, I mean, obviously it has to go to Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje. It was so impressive to see Max go in there. I saw a bunch of videos saying this was the end of Max Holloway's career. It certainly was not. He won every single minute of that, and you know what? Still to the end of the round, or round 5, do the dumbest thing you could possibly do. If you're winning the whole fight and you go in there with Justin Gaethje and you say, let's go and just swing it out, you could 100% get knocked out. It's happened to people before.
One of the most dangerous guys to do that.
One of the most dangerous guys. He's called the
and
highlight.
that's not the first time Holloway's even done that.
He did against Ricardo Morales like 8 years ago.
My favorite fight, personally, coming in, I said the other day, it was Jiri and Rakic. I told you this. I remember you asked me the walks for it. I told you Jiri was going to win. And he did. But Rakic, 3 years off with the ACL injury?
Against Jan.
He pieced him up in the first round and into the second. I don't know what it is with Jiri, but he's just flailing all the time.
Samurai powers.
Yeah, but then again, I knew Jiri had it in him. He got the win. He's just crazy.
Did you see Jiri the night before he went outside of T-Mobile Stadium and meditated in front of the stadium?
Dude, that was weird.
On a mat.
On Friday?
Yeah, he carries around this samurai book. I forget which one it is.
It's so cool.
But and Rakic is, in my opinion, the best striker in that division.
Yeah,
I think he's better than Pereira.
I was just going to say,
you can see it in that fight, too. He pieced him up.
First round, I was a big Yuri fan, I was terrified. Rokic's leg kicks, dude, those things.
He had a big lump.
If he kicked me in the leg, it would immediately snap. Anyways, speaking about that fight, absolutely love that fight, which you started with Holloway and Gaethje.
Yeah.
Just touching on, you didn't say anything that I don't already have to say, but speaking on the pointing in the middle of the ring in the Bobby Miller fight too, I don't like that. For the UFC, at the end of fights, especially for Jim Miller in that fight, who was absolutely battered. It's asking for more brain damage. These guys are already going through so much. It's seriously dangerous.
Listen, Jim Miller is way past that.
Yeah, you're right. I know, but it's
100, 200, and 300. And you know what? He actually had Bobby Green in that first round.
He did.
Almost against the wall, almost out.
Yeah.
But you got to admire that warrior spirit. I mean, these guys go in there knowing what they're going to do, and especially with a bonus of $300,000 on the line, I don't blame them at all for doing something like that.
And they are performers. Justin's my favorite fighter of all time. I would like to see some more Justin, and that's just going to, that's how you ruin your longevity.
Not even for the fact of the UFC, but more just imagine if Gaethje caught him at the very end, and that would completely take away everything that Holloway did for the full rounds that they went through. He won every single round.
Yeah,
and even up until they went into the middle at the very end, he was still winning. So imagine if Gaethje caught him, and then everything that Holloway did. And then there'd be so much talk about if it's fraudulent for Gaethje, and now
it's like when Leon
he walked out of that arena with $600,000.
Exactly, and it is very well deserved.
It is.
I want to talk about Pereira versus Hill. Obviously, it is the main event. And it was very short, but obviously pretty cool. Pereira, with the very famous, got kicked a little bit too low. Back to the ref ball, and not even 2 seconds later, hit him with a pretty soft left hand, but still went down.
Nothing is soft that guy does.
It just looks soft.
He barely, it just skimmed him a little bit, and he dropped him. I think Pereira got really mad when Jamal Hill broke the stone face thing at the press conference.
Yeah.
He took that personally. Pereira's on another level, and for him to say he wants to go up to heavyweight after this fight,
I would love that. I would just love to see the first ever three-division champion.
Yeah.
I want to say, I'm not gonna say we all predicted it. We all kind of knew the fight was gonna go on. I thought Jamal was gonna go into the second. I thought he is a decent striker, if not a tougher striker than Alex is. I'm not saying he's a better technically striker. Alex is one of the greatest strikers that has ever fought, one of the best kickboxers ever. But to watch what he did, he was mad. And he just wanted to go to war. He just wanted to end them, and he did. Yeah. And I don't know what else there is for him to accomplish. Going up against Tom Aspinall, I think, is terrible. It's a terrible plan for Alex Pereira. He's not going to win that fight. I would love to see don't think he's going to get close.
I want to see it.
That's another 40 pounds. I think he has to tackle on to get up.
It takes a John Jones type of hiatus to make that jump. I don't think a lot of people really realize that. That's so much weight to put on, especially him. He looks like he has a naturally skinny frame. Alex put on this muscle. If you saw a picture of Alex 10 years ago, ridiculous.
But even before the weigh-ins and stuff, didn't he gain 20 pounds in 24 hours or something? It might have even been 30
That's
pounds.
on the water weight.
He puts on 30 pounds.
Yeah. Well, one thing I have to ask is, how did this guy make 185?
Pereira. What?
Unbelievable.
It's like
I don't know
him
how
and
he does
Costa
it.
that I don't understand how
Yeah.
they make it down to 185.
Yeah.
Yoel too. I never understood how Yoel made
Yeah,
that cut.
Romero, yeah.